Hey everyone. So I have some fun things here that I'm going to try to make some tickets out of. And I've made lots of videos with tickets, I know, but these I'm making a little bit different. They were inspired by Margaret, Seventh Plaza. Of course, she does a lot of things like this, different ways. And I have wanted to make these for a bit, but I don't know why I just haven't done them. But thinking about this Italian journal, and I had some of this left it's black cardstock, and I sprayed some of the distress spritz, Tim Holtz distress spritz on it. So I thought it might make a good background for these kind of tickets. This is a piece of the cover that came from the elementary school paper that I just tea dyed, and I actually did tea dye it too. This is part of the cover, and I've cut this strip off because I'm thinking, even though that looks childlike right now, I think that if some of it shows, it's going to fit in with my theme, because I'm going to have this Italian paper. I actually thought about cutting these little blocks. This is perfect paper to do little blocks, but I think I'm going to, since I only tea dyed one, I think I'm going to keep it whole for my book. But, you know, you can use anything for the middle. Basically, what it is, we're going to take ticket strips, we're going to make tickets, and then put something on top. Like, you'll see. In my mind, I'm thinking this might be kind of fiddly, so I'm not really sure. You see how long my strips are. I've got different size strips here. This one's 10 inches. And this is one that I did on the jelly plate. It's packaging, and I had cut it off before and thought I would try using it. This one is, I think, just to keep them, actually, I'm going to fold this little one back, where I'll have a little piece of one actually on that one, so that it's 10 inches. What's wrong with my speaking? Okay. Speaking. Ooh, goodness sakes. And then I'll fold this one too at 10 inches, where all of these are pretty much the same, except this one, and I'm sure it's not going to be that long. No, it's 8.5. So I'm going to, let me trim a piece of it real quick. I made that one just a little bit wider because I want some of this sparkly to make sure and show through. So I think what I'm going to do first, and it doesn't matter how wide these are, it doesn't matter how long. I just have in my mind that I wanted them to be about the same length, and I don't think it really matters. But what I'm going to do is this is how I've done them before. I just fold them in half, and then in half again. I'm going to do this one side at a time because this is thicker and I don't want it to crack. And they don't, again, they don't have to be the exact size. It did crack a little bit, but that's okay because we have ink and we can always ink that up. So there's my first set of tickets. This one I'm going to do the same thing, just fold it in half again. That will be the size of those tickets. Kind of going to go back and forth where they have a really good bend. Wanted your dots in the middle, like where they would tear, you could always run them through your sewing machine with no thread. There's one of those little pizza cutter looking things, kind of looks like this, that you can run across. Mine doesn't work very well, and I just don't, too much work for me to do that. Or you could take an awl and just poke holes, but I'm not good with straight lines, so I don't usually do that. These are going to be longer tickets. I like these. So there they are. They're all folded. And here I think is going to be the too fiddly part for me. But maybe not. So I thought I would take some of these that are already stamped. I was going to use them for belly bands and such, but I have more. You know, I've done several. So I'm thinking maybe I would use some on these. Maybe that one for this brown. That looks nice. I'm thinking for this. This one I think I want to use book page. And this one, I really thought I wanted to use some of the Italian paper. Wonder about, ooh, that might be really pretty. Maybe I'll use this Italian paper. And this is tea dyed. It doesn't normally look like that, but let's try that one for that. Okay, so again, this was the fiddly part, and I think I should have paid more attention. Actually, let's cut our holes first. You can do this a whole bunch of different ways too. On this thick one, I'm probably going to have to do them one at a time. Yeah. So let's just do it first. And I like to use that smaller one. It's the, I don't know what it is, 1/8 inch. And I'm just going to set that where I can be sure they're all the same. I don't guess it really matters on the sides because you're just going to take off a little piece. Yeah, I'm just going to have to eyeball that. But maybe we can do the center piece with this. When we poke our hole in the center. Does that look center? Yeah, that's pretty center. So let's go down through the middle and poke that hole. Wonder if I should have done a bigger one. Oh, it doesn't matter. That's what I did, isn't it? So there's our center holes on that one. I guess if we're streamlining, we can kind of do it all at the same time. I think I want to try one of the bigger holes and see if I like that better in the middle. I probably won't, but you never know. Yeah, I think I do like the bigger one better. Maybe it just depends on the size you're making your tickets. And let me show you another way you can do that. I'll do it on this one. You can leave them folded. I'm going to use my smaller hole punch here. You can leave them folded, go about the center, and only go about halfway. You don't want it very big or your hole will end up huge. And just punch them all at the same time. Like that. Oh, it didn't. Oh, you got to turn it over, nitwit, and do it over here on the other folded. So that's a little faster than doing one at a time. So that's one way of doing it. Also, you can do that with the corners too. I might just do that. So you're just kind of getting that little corner. Not doing it all the way. This is how I usually do it. This is the lazy. No, it's not lazy. It's just very efficient. And then another thing I did was on the end piece, I usually did about a half on that one too. Because like maybe where it's torn off. Just like that. I love making tickets. They're so much fun. So I'm going to do that on, well, I forgot to do this one. Definitely going to do the bigger one on this one. It's a really wide one. And of course my tickets are different widths, so I'm going to have to adjust that. like that. And then I'll just go around and do, I don't know if I want to do it this way because it seems like that'd be hard to get through that. So I'm going to have to do these individual, and I won't bore you with this part. I will fast forward. So I've punched all my holes and got my decal edge trimmer out here because I was trying to make sure I could figure out how to do this. I also want to use some of these beautiful pieces. Might be okay to, it'd actually be fun to use some of these wallpaper books. So, and it will still let a lot of that extra show. So I don't know how much of this I've got cut already. I have some that I stamped and cut. Maybe I could just use those. Ooh, that might be a good idea, because look, that's about perfect to fold this one in half. And I'm going to do the same thing with it. I'm going to cut the corners. And the end, I think, too. Well, no, I'm not going to do that. Okay. And I'm just going to tear that because I don't, well, no, I'm not. I thought it would tear easier and I could get that jagged edge, but it didn't really want to tear. So I'm going to use that on these. I may have to nip off a little bit more. See, this is where I figured it might get fidgety, and I was right on the money with that. So I'm going to cut just a little bit off. And I don't know, I don't think I think this is kind of what she did. She just cut little fragments. You know what I mean? Okay, so that really still needs to be a little bit shorter. She did it with her paper cutter, though, I'm pretty sure. Not just fiddling around like I'm doing. And then this one will have to be a little bit shorter. These turned out really pretty, though, I gotta say. That wallpaper. A lot you can do with these things, I think. Okay, so I finished these up. I glued them down. I did stamp ticket. And I just stamped some little red stars. And the number 4. For the 4th day of Mixed Media March. Now on these, I think, because they're not stamped, you know, like those others were, I'm going to go ahead and stamp these before I try to fiddle and adjust them to the background. And I can't remember what I said I was going to use those on. Maybe this glitter, but I think that's too much glitter happening, or, you know, sparkly happening. So I think what I'm really going to put these on, Navy baby, is this. Just like that. And I know that that's, you know, kind of not much color right there, but we're going to make it look a little better. We're going to make it look a lot better. And so I'm just going to do some stamping on these. I'm one-handed because Navy Baby's in my lap. He is up for his morning love with Grandma. Sweet boy. And I think that it's going to be easier for me if I do most of it before I cut them in slots. I think it will look better. I am going to grab out my script stamp. And again, with this, all this you know, that beautiful gold on that. I'm not sure how much of this will show, but we're gonna try it and see. Need to put my cap back on that before I lose this one. I've lost one of them already. And it's the one that had the needle in it. Or the pin. You may not be able to see this. I'm going to hold it up closer because, you know, it's a lot of busy on this with these flowers. In the flowers, you can really see the script, which is good. That's what I was hoping for. Like that. It's just subtle, but it brings out, it has some background to it, and I like that. So, I move stuff up here. There's those. And something else I was wanting to, oh, paint splatters. I want to do some paint splatters. Again, it might be hard to see, but I will put it up better closer to the camera when I get this done so that you can tell it actually has made a difference. I don't know, I might be doing too much. And this is Italian paper, and it's beautiful on its own. So I really don't know that I want to do any more to that. It's beautiful. So I think what my next step is going to be is I'm going to make these fit. And in fairness, her pieces didn't allow so much of this to show. But I like the tea dyed. And, you know, you can do it any way you want to. We use others for inspiration, and she's inspired me to do it this way. So I'm just going to lay these down here and kind of tear. I think I'll use my decal edge tear ruler and just tear where I want that to be for each one. So now what I'm going to do, I think I want to ink around these. And I'm going to ink around this whole piece. That I'm definitely going to keep. And I'm wondering, I think on, just to see so I don't mess up my pieces, I'm going to stamp ticket and see if it actually shows up on this paper. It does. Not wonderfully. Plus which, well, I could do it sideways. I started to say plus which my ticket's really a little wide. Yeah, I'm not going to stamp the word ticket on those because it's too wide and it's not showing good. Really, with the flowers, it just kind of makes it, it kind of falls into the background. So I'm not going to do that. I am going to ink around them. See little navy hand? I am going to ink around them. Okay, so I've got those inked around and glued down. And I feel like I need to add something. I just don't know what. If maybe if I stamp my number 4. I'm also wondering about if I do the ticket on the side where it's partially on the background part. See, okay. Now I like that. Let's do that. And you know, really, well, I've already started it. I guess I'll finish it. I started to say it doesn't even have to say ticket. I could have used like, and I might still do it because I have room on the other side. And I was thinking about using something like the destination, or I don't know what's in here. I think I'll just do nothing. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I've changed my mind. I'm going to pick some red, and I'm going to do these little stars. They're kind of crooked. There we go. Maybe put those, I don't know where. Maybe put those along the side too. It's not showing up that great on the gold. But yeah, it does. Maybe I just didn't have enough ink. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, and I have another idea. Did you see the basket? That's Navy's way of telling me, get some food in that, old woman. Okay, I'll be right back. I've decided I don't like the dots all the way across. I just want to put a few. Like that. And that basket, he doesn't have to eat out of a basket. Navy's deal is, you never know what he's going to bring you. He wants his food in something, not a bowl or a plate. He wants, you never know what, he could be a lid. You never know what he'll bring you. One time he brought me a box, like a wooden box. And he wanted me to lay the stuff on top of the box. And I thought, oh, great. How's he going to carry that? It's just going to roll right off. But it did not. He carried that little box as sturdy as you please in the living room. Sat down and ate his little whatever, I think probably M&Ms on the, or something that rolled around on the top. Okay, so what do we need on this? How do you feel about these little people being on our tickets? I like it. So I want to put some of these little tiny people on there. Plus which, I think the little peeps go with the beautiful Italian background. And it's kind of like, I don't know, something about these colors are just reminding me Tim Holtz. I may not be able to put a little girl on every one. Plus, I don't need to, because if I keep them in the strip, so I'm just going to put a couple of them on there. I'm doubting that I keep them in the strip. I think that I will tear them apart and use them as different things. But I want to put a couple of them on there. And I know these are supposed to be tickets. She looks like she has ears. What's coming off of there? What is that? A bow, maybe? I don't know, but how it's cut, it looks like she has a bunny ear. Okay, so I'm just going to go around these a little bit. Put one right there. I'll put her up at the top. Maybe right there. And I was also wondering about some of my cheesecloth. I guess that's really decorating tags up a little too much, isn't it? Or tickets. These are supposed to be tickets. I say, you know what? These are my tickets. I can do whatever I want to with them. And that's what I want to do. I want to put her on that. So cute. I love these little mini Tim Holtz things. And I think that I want to do the same for him. I think he needs some cheesecloth too. Yep, he does. He needs it. Plus, this would make a cool strip now to keep it all together, I think. And it's, like I said, the back of it, it's got good writing space. All right. So what do you think of my I love that. I really do. I know you get sick of hearing me say that, but I always get so tickled when something actually turns out. Okay, so we have 2 of our loosely named tickets done. Now I just need to finish this one, this beautiful, vibrant one, and the one that I cut from the other. This was from the front of the packaging. Oh, so this one doesn't have good writing on the back. So I will probably more than likely use this as a page edge or a belly band. So I think that's going to be great. This is the one that had good writing. Now I just need to, I think I wanted, I'm going to put book page on this one, just to kind of draw it back a little bit. And then this one, I want to use some of my jelly prints again. And I'm in love with this one, just the whole texture of it. So I think I found enough pieces here that I could do all of them in that. I think I'm just going to use my scissors for this. My decal edge scissors. And I think this is too wide. Is it too wide? Yeah, a little bit wide. So I'm going to take a little bit off the side here. And then cut where my line is. That's my way of being precise. And I think another thing I'm going to do on this card, this just regular cardstock one, cardboard or whatever. This was, like I said, this was the front of the, or the back cover for that elementary paper. I think I'm going to do some light stamping. Boy, that's pretty. I hate losing any of that. This one I done a whole long time ago. Not even with this batch of inking or jelly plate. I did this one, probably a couple years ago. This goes to show I can't get rid of nothing, doesn't it? Kind of bowed that out. Okay, so there's that. And then I just need a little shorty piece for the top. See which piece I want to. Ooh, I like that. Okay. I like that for the top. Now I'm going to, before I do anything else, I'm going to use some of my script stamp and go around this a little bit. I just think it needs it, maybe. Now, most of it I know is not going to show, so I don't need to worry about doing all of the middle or whatever, but I just wanted a little, you know, what is going to show, I wanted it to have some something, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to glue these pieces down. Probably, I guess, before I ink this time. Last time, or, you know, a couple times here, I have stamped before I glued them down, stamped them to look like tickets, but I think this time I'm not going to. We don't, you know, this is your project. We don't have to do things the same. We can switch it up, and pretty much on all of these, I think I've got 4 total. I've done them differently to get kind of the same outcome. And I think that's perfectly okay. We just do what, you know, what feels right to you, easiest to you. And like I say, I know that the ones with the little boys and girls, those don't look anything like a ticket, and that's okay. Doesn't have to. It says ticket on it, so it has to be a ticket. I don't really know what I want to do with these. I love them so much. I think they're beautiful. I mean, it's not like they have to say ticket. I wonder what I want to stamp on them. Oh, you know what? I do know. Maybe they're just beautiful. What do you think? This is where I wish I had scanned that jelly print before I started using it, because, you know, I'm sure I'll never be able to get anything close to that. I don't have a clue what I used. Like I said, it was at least a year, but I feel like it was 2 years ago that I done it, and I don't have a clue what it was, but I do love it. I am going to stamp some numbers, and I for sure want to use my number 4 on this one and sign this one. Oh, that didn't turn out very good, did it? And I don't mind that that looks shadowed. That actually looks kind of cool. Very cool, actually. I like that a lot. Okay, so I have done my number 4, and I'm thinking about putting some numbers like that run in a row, like a whole bunch. Where's that? This one might be a good one. I think I want to make it stick to a stamp block. I like that. I guess I could stamp ticket on a couple of them. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to run this one. Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'm going to run it off the edge, like the top of the ticket might have been torn off kind of thing. I don't know that that was really a good idea, but that's what we did. And want to stamp something else, but I don't know. I think I want to use this destination. How about that? Those are so cool. Do you like them? Or do you think I put too much crap on them? And then I think I still want to stick with my little red dots here. It's just random putting them wherever. I just think that they add a little color to it. And you know something I've been forgetting on these tickets? I need to, you know, as you use your ticket, they usually stamp a punch a hole somewhere. And it doesn't matter where, I'm just punching a hole. Now our tickets are complete. Okay, we need to do this on the other one. I think I want to make a little bit bigger hole on these though. I'm trying not to think about it. I'm just punching the hole. I ain't even gonna look at where it's coming at. Oh, like that. Okay. And do I want to do it on this one too? Guess so. I'm doing it. I don't want to punch my little boy or my little girl. So I'm not going to punch theirs. Okay, I have one more set here. And I might just use, I'm going to use book page. So I'm just going to tear it down this how I think it needs to be. Kind of jaggedy, and I'll do the same on the edges. I have about 3 sheets right here because I wasn't sure how many it would take. Again, I'm not being very precise. I'm just putting that there and tearing however long I think it needs to be. I think when I start getting too precise with measurements and this and that, I lose interest really fast. So this was the best way for me to do it. I'm going to ink around these, and then I'm going to glue them down. And I'll either speed that up or skip completely over it because I don't think anybody needs to or wants to see all of that. I don't know that I've done any all the way through yet that where I did show the inking and the gluing. So I think, well, I said I was going to speed up. Look, I'm almost done. So for this one here, painstakingly, you're going to see the whole process of it. Boy, I like those rugged edges. Now I'm just going to glue these down. There they are. I think this would be a good one to do my number 4 because there's a lot of blank right there. Actually think I'm going to try to use this lighter one because of the way, I don't know, I just think it might go better with the colors. Of course, it doesn't really look lighter. Oh, that's so pretty. And I did wipe off my stamp, so do love that color. I'm just going to stamp a 4 on each one of them. I don't know what I'm going for on this one. Like, if I'm thinking they're going to be tickets, I'm just playing. So we don't know. I don't know what this one's going to be. Might just be really pretty or just a really big mess. I don't know what this is. Identification something. I'm going to stamp it because it seems to be about the right size. I like that. I think that I want to put some of this on there. The splats. But I think this time I'm going to glue it to my stamp block. I want it to stay down a little better. Maybe not. I don't know. You know, I really like being able to push it on where I want to. But this time I think I'm going to try it this way and see what happens. I don't know. If you saw these in your journal, would you think, why did you make those? But you can still write on the back. Like I say, these are, I think you would use a metallic pen and it would look beautiful. So fun. Okay, so do I still want a little bit of those red stars? I think I do. I think I need that little pop. Not like it's going to make a huge difference, but it seems to be affecting me. Like, it makes me happy. Yeah, I do like those. I'm just kind of random putting them wherever. I like those little stars. You know, I think I'm going to call those done. And I'm going to initial this one. Or sign it. Sign it in 2 places. And then I also want to sign this one because I love this one. This is the one that has the jelly plate, the background, and these are wallpaper samples. Love that. Ooh, I do love my... But I didn't stamp any 4s on this one, so I won't worry about that one. And then this one, and I don't... Yeah, I did stamp a 4 on it, so I'll initial that one. Okay. So what do you think of these? Do you think they're beautiful? Or... I mean, again, remember, you can always adjust to your style. It doesn't have to look grungy all the time like mine does. I told somebody I really actually do try to not make everything grungy, but it always ends up this way. So you know what? I'm going with that. For now, one of these days it may change and that may not be how it comes out. Right? I mean, don't we just kind of go with what... Trying to get my stuff out of the way where I can put those up. Here's the number I was looking for a while ago on something. I don't even remember what it was for. To use on one of them. So these are the 4 that I've made. And really, they don't look much different from each other, do they? They're kind of back to being a one-trick pony. It doesn't matter. I love them. I love how they turned out. They're going to go great in the journals. Especially, you know, my kind of journal. I hope that you like them. Day 4 of our mixed media march. Thanks for watching. And I will see you next time. Bye.